All right, in this episode, we are going to be talking about some of the controversy we've been seeing on Wall Street Silver, which just seems insane. Why would there be controversy in this space? And we're also going to talk about silver and what it's been doing. So let's just get through this really quickly. Wall Street Silver has been plateauing a little bit, I guess you could say, in its silverbacks. It has 124,000, and it's been there for some time. And we have people in the live chat essentially accusing the founder Ivan of buying Reddit subscribers. So here you have a recent comment that Ivan made just saying, hey, I love gold as well. And he's the founder. And yet there's one person saying, tell us the App Sally story. And some people are basically, accusing him of buying followers through this thing called App Sally. Now, I haven't looked into it. I don't know. I'm not going to make any claim here or there. But someone under here basically makes a good point. Basically saying, true story or not, I'm not sure why you seem determined to take the wind from this sailing ship. And someone underneath said, right, we need this silver fleet to set sail again. And the person underneath says, because this is why the premiums were pumped up for scam prices. The gold pumping syndicate pays for the scam. Now, when people start talking this way, I just essentially kind of tune out. And essentially what you have here is, I think you have some negative emotion happening while the price of silver has been coming down. And that also probably translates to the reason why there has been immense growth here of silverbacks in recent days, or maybe even weeks. I mean, you can look at my channel, my subscribers, it was growing at a certain kind of rate over in the beginning of the year, and it's kind of plateaued a little bit. It hasn't really grown significantly. And I think you could say, well, hey, the prices of gold and silver have not been rising in the same way that they were rising. And you might be able to draw a little bit of a parallel between people being interested in an asset when prices are rising versus when they aren't. So I think what we're seeing here is negative emotion and it being thrown at Ivan a bit. And I think, unless you have like some really hard proof, and again, I haven't looked at anything, I think you really can't make a claim like that. And even if there was a claim, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter because people are still buying silver and people are still in the market. I just bought silver and I made a video about it. I bought silver on Monday because the price came down. And that's when I think, or at least for my strategy, that's when I want to start buying. And speaking of which, the price is still relatively low, though we had a pretty decent day in gold and silver. So take a look here at the at the silver price. And here we have silver and the Bollinger Bands. And yesterday I stated that I'm not really sure if if we're actually going to be rebounding strongly. And I said that, hey, we might have a bullish engulfing candle forming. And by the end of the day, if it makes that formation, then hey, that might be positive. But then I also said, I don't know, the trend may not be that strong. I don't necessarily want to say it's a dead cat bounce. I wouldn't be surprised if we're having some mean reversion from that large drop. But does that mean we'll have continued upside? We'll see. I do think we have some positivity here in the near term as the MACD, which is here at the bottom, is starting to lighten up here in the histogram, and maybe it's going to start edging back up. We have the RSI coming up from its bottom, which is another positive. Here for the actual candlestick within the Bollinger Bands is actually coming up and mean reverting, which is a good sign. So as far as silver is concerned, the price looks pretty good relative to how it was coming up from the following day. Now take a look here. Silver's up 0.20%, pretty decent. Pretty strong rise from 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let's take a look at the moving averages. Now, this is what I was essentially referring to yesterday with these moving averages, in that the 20 looks like it's going to cross into the 250. So the shorter duration moving average crossing into the longer one. And that is essentially a death cross, which for many of these death crosses within these moving averages, the candlesticks will precede the cross. So with a death cross, that doesn't necessarily mean it will stay crossed that way. It may actually edge back up, or may touch and edge back up. That's actually what we saw with the Cathie Wood ARK Invest ETF. It actually touched the longer duration moving average, and then it bounced back up and it was off to the races again. So this doesn't necessarily mean that we will have a death cross. It may bounce up and edge back up. I'm just speaking primarily from probability, and that's the only way that we can really talk about a lot of assets. You know, we have to speak probably, and not talking about, and not make any other kind of claim outside of that. So it looks pretty good as far as today is concerned, but as far as the overall trend, let's wait for a couple of other days and see what, how things are developing. But as of right now, things are looking good. And for me, again, I bought the dip a couple of days ago. I don't know if you guys are looking at doing the same thing, but let me know in the comment section below about this, and also what you think about the controversy happening on Wall Street Silver.